friends, welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be reseasoning my cast iron pans. I had these pans tucked away in a cabinet, and with it being winter time, a few mice had come in and decided to nestle on them, and I eventually found out when I went to clean the cabinet out and pull out some cast iron to use it. But that's what we're going to be doing today. So here I am just going to add some dish soap to my pan. Ideally, you do not want to use soap when you deal with cleaning your pan in between uses. I'm using a steel wool pad. It's one of those ones that has like lemony stuff on it. So I'm just scrubbing really well on all of the places that I can feel are imperfect. I'm just trying to get it back to its original condition. Get down in all the deep grooves, along the edges, on the sides, back and forth each way. And this part here, there was something on there that just was not coming off. So it takes a little bit of elbow grease and a little bit of time. My favorite thing to do is to find cast iron at a thrift store, Goodwill, or a yard sale and bring it back to life. So if you don't already have cast iron, you can surely do the same by purchasing one at those places if you don't have the money to invest in a brand new set. So now I'm just rinsing it off over at my sink. So there it is, all nice and clean. Now to do the underneath. Now this pan isn't near as nice as the rest of my pans, but I still use it because I love cast iron. The cooking surface, it's almost perfect on the other side. So I did my best to clean this side up, scrubbing it down as best as I could. The toughest thing for you will be the elbow grease that you got to put into it. Otherwise, this is such a simple process. Yeah, make sure you get even the sides of your pan. If we are going to reseason a pan, we definitely want to make sure that we have scrubbed every square inch on it down the best that we can. Now I'm going to skip over to my sink and rinse it off. Now, since I did use that steel wool pad that had the lemon cleaner stuff on it, I know that you can typically use that to scrub on dishes and pans and whatnot, but I was just like, no, I'm going to do some more dish soap to just give it a good clean, so I didn't feel like it was straight up heavy duty cleaner on that pan. I wiped it down with the soapy dish liquid and went back over to the sink to rinse it off thoroughly. Next, grab a kitchen towel and just make sure you have it dried off really, really well. Another thing you could do, you could put it on the stove over the fire for a few moments on low heat just to make sure you have it completely dried out. Next, we'll be grabbing some oil. I've heard flaxseed oil is the best, but I only have extra virgin olive oil on hand. Here's the oil that I have. I purchased that from Sam's Club. You just put a little bit in your pan and use a paper towel to rub it thoroughly all over. The inside, the sides, the outside, the handle, everything. You want to completely cover every part of the pan. While you're doing this, be sure to preheat your oven to about 450, 500 degrees. You want to make sure that your temperature in your oven is high enough to get the oil past its smoking point. Cast iron pans are very porous, So by us adding the oil and baking it, it'll help create that non-stick layer on the inside of the pan, and the more you cook with it, the better it will get. Also, you need to make sure that every time you go to use your pan, you place it on your burner and let it preheat. This will help ensure that you get that non-stick effect much easier. Plus, over time, it will just naturally become easier. Now that my pan is completely coated, I'm going to grab a paper towel and wipe off as much oil as I can. I don't want a lot of excess oil or it'll make it super sticky after you bake it in your oven. So now I'm just wiping out the pan to get the excess oil while my oven is preheating. Mine, I put it on 450. I'll bake it for 1 hour. Mind you, don't be surprised if while it's baking, if you notice that like the air in your house, it's just, you know how when you have a pan on high and you cook something and it just kind of gets foggy and whatnot in the house? Don't be alarmed if that happens. It's not going to be horribly bad, but you'll notice. At least I did when I did mine. So now that it's all wiped down, I'm going to put it into the oven. As I said before, make sure you bake it for about an hour. And now that it's out, this is what it looks like. It looks gorgeous. It looks brand new, like I just got it, at least on the cooking side. Someone didn't take care of this one very well on the underneath, so I'm doing the best I can with it to still give it a nice long life. But here you have it. In between uses, you want to make sure that you use some salt. Just pour a few tablespoons of salt in it after I've scraped out everything that I can to my best ability, and just rub that salt around with a paper towel or with the spatula that I was using. Rinse it out. Check it again. But whatever you do at the end of your cleaning process, 1, never use soap and water between uses. 2, just use salt as an abrasive and wipe it out the best you can. And then 3, you can add another about teaspoon or so of olive oil and wipe down your pan real well. Then place it up on your stovetop and warm it up to reach the smoking point. Sometimes that'll just take a few minutes on, medium heat or so. Once it hits that smoking point, you can turn your stove off and let the pan cool down and then put it right away. So that's it for this video. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed it. If you like this video, give it a big thumbs up. If you really like these types of videos, feel free to subscribe. I also do cooking videos, and I'll have some more things coming out for you soon.